basically just put your thoughts of the match down below. I'll cover what actually happened in the match, what I thought of the match, and I'll read out some of your comments as well. Got first one here. Even the boycott was awful today. Shows Ashley knows how to play the fans in the into the stadium. Lol. Exactly, I completely agree. You know, the sign of Andy Carroll, 40 million on Joe Linton, 20 million on saint-maximin. You know, it's been really shocking, really. You know, we should be boycotting as fans, I think. And yeah, it's just a simple thing that, you know, we need to sort out, really. So we'll start at the start of the match. I was actually quite excited going into the match because Arsenal's lineup was very weak. Chambers at the back. You know, Willock, I know he's exciting. Nelson, like, they're not top quality players like we expected to have playing against us. So I was excited to see what happened. But don't get me wrong, I didn't think it was a bad performance. I agree with you there, Simon. I've just seen your comment. You know, I agree that it wasn't a bad performance at all. I thought Newcastle played really, really well in the first half. We kept Arsenal at bay. They had a few chances. We had a few chances. Joe Linton specifically had 2 brilliant chances, both with his head. You know, I felt like he was sort of starved of that in the second half. But first half, I thought we were very good. I was excited to see what would happen in the second, whether we push on. But in the end, Arsenal just ended up being the strongest side. You know, I disagree with any fan that says that today's performance was heartless or whatever, because the team did try. They were still pressing at the end, whipping balls in. We were trying our hardest. You know, substitutions wise, I don't think we really made the right decisions, like when they were needed. Like, for instance, bringing Shelvey off. I've just seen that comment about bringing Shelvey off for Williams to play him in centre midfield. He's brought on as a left back. You know, yes, I've just seen your comment in the beginning that Williams was supposedly sleeping, but he was being played out of position. But it's his first Newcastle appearance, first appearance in the Premier League. You can't judge him for, you know, a couple of minutes of football. He's trying to get the pace of the Premier League. He's only just come on. You know, he's not going to be up to speed with the game. You know, no points at the end of the day. No points at all. You know, it would have been nice to at least get a point at the end there. And yeah, Jammy Jimmy, just seen your comment. We had no midfield in the last 30 minutes, which I thought was, which was really just, it took the flow of the game out because we had no transition going into attack. You know, we had nothing to offer our strikers, or like, you know, Almiron or saint-maximin. So I just thought it was really poor. I thought the substitution of saint-maximin would have boosted us a little bit, you know, made us a little bit more confident going forward. I mean, when I saw him in the Saint-Etienne game about a week ago now, he looked a talent. He looked exciting. He looked like he could run at players and, you know, get us forward and dribble past players. But today we didn't really see that. But to be fair, Arsenal were doubling up on him. Opponents obviously know what they're coming up against with saint-maximin. But to, you know, make the most out of our attack, I think we need to play Joe Linton, saint-maximin and Almiron up top together, because if you have 2 marking 1, then that leaves one of the other 2 up front open. So I think we need to be looking into playing all 3 up front and maybe switching back to a 2-man midfield, which is disappointing because I would like to see Shelvey, Hayden and Longstaff all together. But, you know, it's like, do you want to see ASM, Joe Linton and Almiron all together, or do we want to see Shelvey, Longstaff and Hayden all together? So it's just a really, really difficult situation to be in. I've just seen a comment there from Nige. We need to play 4-3-3, put Sean and Shelvey in the middle with Hayden tucked behind. Yeah, I think that would work, but I think playing a back 4 again when we've been playing a back 5 for a while, I think our defenders fit better into a back 3. That's the one thing I wouldn't change about our system, if I'm quite frank with you. The way, like, Cher, I feel like he suits a back 3 because sometimes he has these defensive lapses where he won't concentrate. Although he's one of our better defenders, I feel like he just loses concentration sometimes. Also, he'd have to go on those beautiful attacking runs, which we saw last season. and he won't be able to do that with playing a back two. I mean, then we look at the centre backs. We'll be leaving out of the back three. I mean, Dummett's in there at the moment in replacement of Lejeune. Lascelles is there as well, but when Lejeune comes back, we'll have Lejeune, Fernandez, Clark, Dummett, Lascelles, Cher, all to fit into a back two. That's 6 centre backs. That means you've got 4 backups, which is an imbalance in the squad, I think. I've just seen your comments, Smash Pumpkin. Joelinton I thought he was very, very good today. He just offered that a little bit more up front. I realised that every header he went for, pretty much every header he went for, he ended up like winning, or like he chest it down and flick it on. And I feel like that's what we need. He sort of takes that role of Rondon that we had last season, but he's a little bit more exciting. He's got a bit more pace, a bit of flair as well. Thought some of his long passes were poor though, but we'll give the lad time. Obviously, he's still adjusting to the Premier League, and he played well today. So you can't really really judge the lad on it. Dom played well today. Was quite impressed. Dummy did play well. I feel like he's one that's always going to play well. He plays for the team, plays for the badge. Always puts his body on the line. It's just brilliant defender. Really, he's everything you want. His slide tackles today were amazing, and I feel like he's one we can always rely on. He's quite consistent. Shelby took knock in the first half, couldn't run it off. Yeah, I didn't see that. I thought Shelby was our most creative player in the first half in the whole game. I'm not quite sure why he was brought off for Willems, because I felt like I just got rid of our creativity. Yes, Longstaff's quite creative, but Shelby is the pinnacle of that midfield, and can launch balls forward and whatever. Richie and Shah also looked quite knackered from the 80-minute point. Yeah, Richie's just come back from an injury, and Cher has played pretty much every game of pre-season. I know players shouldn't necessarily be knackered from that, but Cher does quite a lot of other work rather than just defending and heading the ball away, kicking the ball away. He's here, there, and everywhere, Fabian Cher, and you can't really judge him for trying. So Almiron Shelby link-up play was fantastic today, but no final product. Yeah, I feel like once Almiron gets that goal that he's looking for, we know that he's looking for. He's been looking for it since probably last January. This January, sorry. And like he just seems to snatch at things off. I think from what I saw when he was in the MLS, and it's a different kettle of fish to the Premier League, but it's different to what we saw in the MLS because like I feel like Premier League goalkeepers are just that little bit better. Where he might have had that extra few centimetres to tuck it in the bottom corner, Premier League goalkeepers will get that extra few centimetres. So I feel like he just needs to sort of adapt. I just need to adapt to the situation that is in the Premier League. So keep firing any questions, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Cher had a poor game. We were not the same team in the second half, particularly after Shelby went off. Yeah, I just said that a couple of minutes ago. Shelby's our creator. That's it really. No striker, plenty inside forwards. I disagree. Joelinton is that man, but I feel like one thing he does need to adapt his game. Where he comes deep to collect the ball, when he passes it off, he needs to then run forward. He can't stay in midfield. He can't, faff on with it in midfield and become a number 10. He needs to be that man up top, and Almiron tucked in behind him is what needs to be happening, because we all know Almiron's normal position is the number 10, and just like you said there, Connor, we need more creativity in the squad, and playing Almiron on the number 10 with either Joelinton or 2 ahead of him, like Saint-Maximin and Joelinton, that'd be perfect. He'd be able to create with Shelby just behind him as well. We'd be creating loads of chances. I love ASM's hair. Yeah, not that we saw much of it today. I would have liked to have seen him brought on sooner, but yeah. Andy Carroll would have made such a big difference today. Not when he's injured, obviously, but yeah, I see what you mean. He's a presence up top. He was a presence up top, and I really think that he'd be just that little bit extra to hold up the ball, maybe like run defenders ragged, etc. Like sort of an opposite to ASM. Steve Bruce's tactics. To be fair, I think he got his first half tactics spot on. If I'm quite honest with you, I think that in the second half, Arsenal just made changes and we didn't know how to cope with it. I mean, substitutions were poor. Don't get me wrong. We were very poor in the second half, but you know, yeah, that's it really. Arsenal were there for the taking. I disagree with you there, Jammy Jimmy. You know, Arsenal are a good team. They've had a good summer. Brought some some good players. You know, they're on a high. Really, they've spent a lot of money, and they are able to look forward to the season ahead. Unlike us, where we've spent money, but it's only still 30 mil net spend, which is poor. Like, we need to be spending more and on more proven players. I think is what we really need to be doing. You know, there's experience in the squad, but there's not a lot of like top experience. Felt like Hayden was too advanced, and there was no one in midfield. Yeah, that's something I've always spotted with Isaac Hayden. He always moves up the field to press when I feel like he should be the deepest and anchoring the midfield. But yeah, I feel like it does leave no one who's got real defensive ability in that midfield. Yeah, Williams gave away the goal. Yeah, I said earlier that, you know, he should be getting to that, but he's adapting to the speed of the game. It's his first Premier League appearance. You've got to let him off. You've got to let him move on from it and succeed from here. You know, Pepe looks like he could be a flop. We terrorised him when he came on. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm not sure I saw much of him, to be honest. And when they did get on the ball, we passed it straight out of the pitch. So, you know, his first Premier League appearance as well. So we can't not judge our players and judge others. We need to just give new signings time, I think, whether they're opposition or you know, or ours. Under Rafa with Rondon and Perez, we'd have won that game. Yeah, but you can't dwell on the past, can you? At Perez, you know, we might still not have won today, because I saw when we were away at Arsenal last season, that was exactly the same as I saw today, exactly the same, where we play well, but you know, there's nothing really, there's no creativity or anything really. I just think that you can't dwell on the past. We're here now. We've got Steve Bruce. We've got Joe Linton, ASM. We need to move on. We need to look at what we've got at the moment. So yeah, keep sending your questions, guys. We've got a few more minutes on here, and then we'll wrap it up. Jack Colback is dog shit. Why is he now side? He's not in the 25-man squad, so yeah. But I think it's just wages. That's all it is, but we're trying to focus on the match. So if you keep sending any questions about the match, guys, you know, what the fuck was that second half? Piss poor, Longstaff and Shelby off, and then our creation gone. Poor crossing, poor passing, zero urgency near the end. Joe Linton did okay, but on ball, but not so great off it. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant summary there, David. You know, it's exactly my point, that why bring our two greatest creators off the midfield and replace them with defenders? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. You know, Joe Linton, like I said earlier, does need to get into the box once he's passed the ball off, once he's dropped deep. You know, that's it really. We should have brought a centre mid. Completely agree, mate. There, Jammy Jimmy. We should have definitely brought a centre mid. It's difficult though, because in Mike Ashley's eyes, not ours as fans, because you know, in Mike Ashley's eyes, he spent a lot of money this summer or whatever. He hasn't really. We should be looking at, you know, a top quality centre midfielder that, you know, can do a bit of everything, a bit of box to box, like we see with Longstaff sometimes. You know, someone who can just cover for what we've got at the moment. We didn't play shite and didn't get a spanking from a top team. Got to take some positives out of this. Completely agree with you there, Mike. That's the thing I'm trying to echo really. You know, we did play well in the first half. I don't care what anybody says. We were playing very well in the first half. Second half, poor. But we kept a top side at 1-0, and they were playing some all right football at times. You know, we've got to take away the positives from today. Norwich next week, newly promoted side. They didn't look they were any good against Liverpool really, apart from when they scored the goal. So I think that we have to sort of move on from here, take the positives from today, and move on. Richie was non-existent today. I'm not quite sure where you're getting that from, Oliver, because he was an ever-present for me, really. He was making tackles up and down that left wing in the first half, and then I think he was moved over to the right in the second, and he was there, just crossing was poor. Nige says, boys were good, management let us down. The boys were good. I think the thing is they still know what they're doing from when they were playing under Rafa. Rafa had his own tactics, and I think that they still try to keep some core of that, and then whatever Steve Bruce else tries to drill into them. Substitutions were poor. That's quite a big thing in the management side that I would agree with. Richie was one of the best there today, if you ask me. Completely agree with you there. That's what I've just said. He's always a hard worker. I know on this channel they like to say huffs and puffs but doesn't blow any houses down. That is true, but he's just up and down that left flank all the time. Going in for tackles. He's just a consistent player. Like, I know some people don't like him because he's got no real thing about him, but he does his job. He's there to do a job, and he does it. So we can't really judge him. Agreed to 80 minutes. 80 minutes needs fitness on. Yeah, I think we did look a bit groggy. From the 80th minute mark onwards. It's just I don't know why our fitness isn't high enough, because we've had quite a long a deep normal sized pre-season. I'd say we played against some good teams, got a good run out. I'm not quite sure what wasn't clicking today. I think the pace of the game didn't help, where in the first half it went from slow, and then we were still having to press because Arsenal were passing around the back. That really wore our players out, I think. And in the end, we just sort of ran out of energy and just fell flat. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Make sure you keep an eye out for the videos tonight, where we the match review. Scoring the players, Kyle, Lee, and Rob and Paul. I think they'll be on the videos, scoring the players, etc., etc. So keep an eye out for those videos tonight. Make sure you watch next weekend's stream after the Norwich game. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.